Hi yogis, welcome back. It's been a while since I've done a video for you in my home. I did the last two outside in my yard. And this video is just, it's a shorter sequence. It's more if maybe it's nighttime and you want to settle down before bed, or you're dealing with some injuries or some limitations and you just really want to go easy. A nice, easy breezy practice. And as always, if there's something in here and in this routine that is too challenging for you based on something you might be dealing with, as always, modify. But let's start off in our easy pose. Just coming to a comfortable seat, taking your hands to prayer at heart center, and taking a few moments just to settle in and to tune into your breath, to lengthen the spine, and to allow your awareness to come into the space of the room you're in, of the yoga mat that you're on. Slowing down. And then take your palms to your knees. Keep your eyes closed. Gently tip the chin to the chest, letting the muscles in your face soften. Give your head a little shake here. And then take that head to center. If you don't have any neck problems, let that head drop back, keeping the shoulders back and down. And give the head a little shake here. And take the head center. Turn and look over the right shoulder, keeping shoulders square to the front of the room. And center. And turn and look left. Shoulders stay square to the front of the room. And back to center. On an inhale, shrug shoulders to ears. Roll back and down, exhale. Shoulders up, big inhale. Roll back and down, exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Now take those arms overhead. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And twist to the right, exhale. Now this time, let's just turn to the side wall, not the wall behind us. Again, we're taking this easy, gentle yoga. With the eyes closed, let the shoulders and belly soften, but maintain a nice long spine here. On your next inhale, turn to face forward, float those arms up. Hands down in front, exhale. And maybe crawling the hands forward a little, maybe coming to forearms. So wherever this feels good for you. Letting the shoulders relax, letting the lower body soften. And just notice the gentle opening in your hips here. And taking one more long breath. And crawling those hands back up. Shoulders roll back. Straighten out your legs. Give them a little bounce. And then fold the legs back into your easy pose, but just opposite from how they just were. And then on your next inhale, float those arms up. And twist to the left, exhale. Turning again just to the side wall. Going easy into this twist. The shoulders and belly are soft, and that spine stays nice and long. On an inhale, turn back to face forward, float the arms up. Hands down in front, exhale. And again, maybe crawling the hands forward a lot, maybe just a little bit. You can come onto forearms, whatever feels good for you here. But really just soften any tightness or holding, bringing that awareness to your breath, keeping it long. And take one more breath here. And crawl the hands back up. Shoulders roll back. Straighten out your legs. Give them a little bounce. And now, keeping those legs straight, find your sit bones. Flex the feet back towards you. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Try to hinge from the waist. Exhale, lengthen forward. And take those hands to the mat as far as you can reach. And then just let these shoulders relax here. So keep the feet flexed back towards your face to create length through the back of the legs. And make sure you're not clenching your teeth or wincing here, just keeping softness through the face and the jaw, and keeping that breath nice and long. Unless your face is further forward than your knees, keep your gaze on your toes, lengthening forward. And if your face is further forward than your knees, beyond the knees, then you can certainly go right ahead and bring your nose closer to your shins. Again, we are creating length through the back of the legs here, so let's take one more full inhale, toes flex back, and slowly round up, exhale. And shoulders roll back. Again, let's come to shaking out those legs. Let's come to table posture, hands and knees. Keeping those fingers spread apart nice and wide. That'll help to protect your wrists over time. And going into a little warm-up here for the low back. So on your inhale, drop the belly, nice soft belly, eyes and glutes up. And then round to cat, exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine. Flow back to cow, inhale, eyes and glutes up. This time, round the sit bones back towards the heels as if you're coming to child's pose. On an inhale, slink forward to cow, leading with the heart, eyes, glutes up. Exhale, rounding back, glutes towards the heels. Let's do two more like that. Inhale, think of this like a wave in your body. Exhale, rounding back. And one more time, inhale, lead with the heart. And exhale, round back. So now stay all the way back, coming to child's pose. Big toes touching, sit bones resting as far back onto heels as possible, forehead resting on the mat. And with your eyes closed, just rest, letting that breath flow. Take one more breath here, and then bring it back to table. Again, fingers spread wide. So making sure those hands are right underneath your shoulders, let's move to balancing table. Take that right arm forward, left fingers spread wide, and the left leg back. So let the thumb face the sky and the pinky the floor. Reach out through the right fingers and flex the left sole of the foot, reaching it behind you. Pull navel towards spine and let those shoulders soften so your neck stays nice and long. Just keep that breath nice and smooth here and stay really strong into that left hand and arm. Take one more breath here, reach longer, and then switch sides, exhale. Spreading the right fingers wide underneath right shoulder, left arm forward, fingers spread wide, and right leg back. Lengthening through left fingers, reaching back through right sole of the foot. Staying strong into that right hand and arm. Shoulders relax, navel to spine. Taking one more long breath here, inhale, reach, and then back to table, exhale. And then let's take a plank pose. Now, if you feel strong enough to do a regular plank pose, shoulders over hands, lifting up your push-up position here, pulling navel to spine. Make sure those hips aren't sinking. That's really bad for the low back. So think of lengthening the tailbone to the heels, pressing strong into the earth. If this is too much for you, you can put those knees down, or you can even come onto forearms here if this is bothering the wrists at all. So doing whatever feels good for you in this plank pose. Let's hold for one more breath here. And then shift to a down dog on the exhale. And go ahead and pedal out your feet here. Now yogis, if down dog ever becomes too strenuous for you, you can always just put those knees down or really soften your knees towards the mat. So separating those feet about hip distance apart. Separate the sit bones, reach them up and back. Heels reach towards the floor. It is not necessary for them to touch. Fingers spread wide. Again, maybe knees stay nice and soft if that's too much. Maybe knees come down and just shift back into somewhat of a table here. So let's stretch those hips back for one more inhale. And then walk the hands back to the feet. Separate your feet wider and come to ragdoll here. So for a really easy class, I would not suggest clasping opposite elbows. That adds an extra weighted pressure downwards, which may be too much for some people. So you can just let the back of the hands rest on the mat. You can sway gently side to side. Do whatever you need to make this pose feel just really easy and effortless in your body. And then give that head a little shake. Keeping those knees nice and soft, roll up slowly. One vertebra at a time. And then roll the shoulders back at the top. Nice. So yogis, come towards the top of your mat. Just a little bit of space at the top. Little bit of space between your feet. I'm going to face you just for the moment. Taking your hands to prayer, take your feet all the way together. I want you to press into the feet, nice and active, to lengthen the spine and the crown of the head. But at the same time, let those shoulders relax back and down. Take an inhale here. Arms by your sides, exhale. Sweep your arms overhead, inhale. So I want you to clasp your fingertips together, except the pointer fingers. Point right through the roof. And I'm sorry that you can't see my hands in the screen. They're just like this. And then lift through the rib cage. Take your tailbone, tip it down towards the floor, pressing equally hard into the feet. Press the hips to the right. And see if you can gaze slightly towards the right where the ceiling is. So go into just the babiest little half moon here. Again, that equal press into both feet will help stabilize the body. On an inhale, come back up nice and tall. And then we'll go to the other side. Exhale, pressing the hips gently left. See if you can turn and gaze to the sky. Again, if this is too much for you, just do the tiniest little tip to the side, feeling that length and stretch into the left side body. Inhale, press into the feet, lift back up. Hands to prayer, collapse to forward bend. Really soft knees. Take your nose towards the legs, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, gaze to the horizon. Exhale, fold, bend your knees here, and tip up to seated chair. So in seated chair, your sit bones go back. You keep those shoulders soft, pulling navel towards spine to help support the low back. And put those arms wherever it allows your shoulders to relax. So maybe here. Tune into the breath, keeping knees over toes. Take one more inhale here. Come to forward bend, exhale. Take the nose towards the legs. Again, halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen forward. And now step back to your plank pose. That strong push-up position again. Maybe on knees, again, maybe on forearms, whatever's right for your body. Take an inhale right here. Lower all the way down to your mat. Point toes, peel up to just a baby cobra. Inhale, knit back down, exhale. Keep the elbows tight to the body. Inhale, peel up again, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, peel up, heart forward. Knit down, press up to table, hands and knees. Spreading those fingers wide. Let's go back to balancing table. Pressing into right hand. Reach left arm forward, right leg back. Hold and breathe. Shoulders soft, navel to spine. Inhale here, reach longer. Hand down, exhale, switch sides. Left hand grips into the floor, right arm reaches forward, left leg back. Soft shoulders, navel to spine. One more inhale, reach longer. Hand down, exhale. Good. I want you to take that right leg, reach it up and back. This is Sunbird. And this is also a modification for a three-legged dog, keeping that knee down. So lift that leg up and back, inhale. Now take the knee to the nose. I want you to round the spine, press into the earth. Take it back to Sunbird. Inhale, lengthen through the leg. Knee to nose, exhale, press down, navel to spine. One more, inhale, and exhale, round. Last time, lengthen that leg back, big inhale. Now take that leg straight. Turn the foot flat so you're flattening out, toes are facing towards me. And then roll onto that left hand and take your right arm to the sky. So we're in kind of a modified plank here, lifting those hips up, reaching long through the top hand. And if you feel good here, maybe you'll take that right leg and lift it, but this is just an option. And if this is really hard on that bottom hand, you can also bring the forearm down. Just have your fingertips facing straight ahead. One more breath here, maybe lift higher. And then take it back down, exhale. And then let's sit back to a child's pose. Taking the big toes to touch, the forehead to the mat, close your eyes. Sit bones rest as far back onto heels as possible. The breath stays nice and long. And then take one more breath here. And then shift forward. Take it to your plank pose. So maybe you're here. Maybe you're in your modified plank. Maybe forearms are down. Take an inhale right here. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Keep elbows tight to the body. Again, with pointed toes, peel up to baby cobra. Inhale, elbows tight to the body. Exhale, knit down. Inhale, peel up again, heart forward. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, peel up. Exhale, lower. Press up to table, hands and knees. Pressing strong into that left hand this time. Reaching right arm forward and left leg back, balancing table. Soft shoulders. Navel pulls to spine. One more inhale, lengthen. Hand down, exhale, switch sides. Right fingers spread wide. Left arm forward, right leg back. Spreading through the fingers, flexing through back foot. Shoulders relaxed, navel in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. This time, take your left leg, I'm just going to switch sides, left leg to three-legged dog. Again, reaching up and back through the legs. Stay strong and straight into those arms. And now inhale, reach the leg further back. Take the knee to the nose, round the spine, exhale. Inhale, lengthen back. Knee to nose, hollow the belly. Exhale. Again, inhale, lengthen. Knee to nose, last time. And just inhale to lengthen back. And take that left foot, turn it flat so the toes face straight ahead. Rolling onto that right hand, the left arm goes to the sky. Again, the hips lift up, belly pulls in. Maybe lifting the left leg, reaching the sole of the foot away from you. Again, this is just an option. And if you want to modify, you can take that forearm down with fingertips facing straight ahead of where you're facing. One more breath here, lift higher. Turn back down to the mat, exhale, and again take a child's pose. Big toes touching, forehead to the mat. Close your eyes and breathe. And then take one more breath here. Move your hands by your knees. Press up. Tuck your toes under. Roll onto your feet. Come again to ragdoll. Both knees soft. Head heavy. Again, maybe just resting the back of your hands to the mat. Giving the head a little shake here. Slowly roll up. And roll those shoulders back at the top. Nice, yogis. Get a little sip of water if you'd like. I'm going to just adjust my mat. We're going to go into just a little bit of balance here. As we get older, and I hate to use that O word, but it is so important that we practice balance. You always hear of elderly people falling and breaking a hip, and that's really the beginning of the end. So to keep practicing balance, because we don't really get that in anything else that we do. It's something that you have to practice to be good at. So let's all start by standing on our left leg. Press into that left foot. Hollow the belly. Find a drishti here. That's your not moving spot that will help you with balance. And let's just take the left toes, off the floor. Sorry, right toes off the floor. So maybe just the toes are hovering above the floor. Maybe the foot is kind of even with the knee. Or maybe you feel really good with balance and you want to take that knee higher. So wherever this feels best for you. If you tend to wobble or balance is tricky for you, take some pressure off yourself. This is something that definitely needs a lot of practice. And don't take it too seriously, just have fun with it. So wherever you are here, see if you can lift that knee just a bit higher and reach those arms to the side walls. So I want you to lengthen through the arms as if you want to touch fingertips to side walls, but without hunching shoulders, nice and soft. Good. Take one more inhale here. And then release, exhale. And then maybe come to toes and heels or kick out those legs a little bit. And then we'll switch sides. So standing on that right leg, press into that right foot. Hollow the belly, finding your drishti, not moving spot for balance. Taking the left toes either just to hover over the floor, maybe the foot's even with the knee, or maybe you're lifting higher. Whatever feels good for your body. Keeping navel pulling to spine. And I want you to make sure that your spine stays really straight, the shoulders and jaw stay soft. And then see if maybe you can take that knee just a little higher than where you're at now and lengthen the arms to the side walls. So expanding across the heart, attaching fingertips side walls without hunching shoulders. One more inhale here, maybe come higher. And release, exhale. Nice, roll out shoulders. Again, maybe kicking out the legs. And then with your feet just maybe about 2 fist distance apart from each other. Reach those arms parallel to ceiling and floor, and lower back down to your seated chair. Nice. So again, in seated chair, those sit bones go back, shoulders stay soft, weight is into the glutes and the heels, and maybe coming to prayer here. Just keeping the neck long, keeping the jaw soft. Let the shoulders relax. Take one more inhale. Hands to the mat, forward bend, exhale, lengthen. And then I want you to lunge that right leg all the way back. Drop the back knee, point the back toe, and come up here to a low lunge. So yogis, if we're here and at 90-degree angles with our legs, we're not stretching anything. We want to stretch this quad and hip flexor, so let those hips sink forward. Let the shoulders soften. Maybe staying right here, or you can even fold that mat under, just that corner of the mat to get a little more padding for that right knee if you need it. If you feel steady here, you can take those arms overhead, letting the shoulders relax, keeping that breath nice and long. Take one more breath here, and hands come down, exhale. So take that left knee down, come to table, and then bring that right foot forward, just switching sides. And then just slide that left knee back a bit, and again, come up onto the quad. So again, if you want to fold that mat, that edge of the mat over to give that left knee a little more padding, you can. Letting those shoulders relax, letting that breath become smooth, hips sinking forward. And maybe, just an option, lifting those arms overhead. Shoulders soft, tuning into the breath. And take one more breath here. And the hands come down, exhale. Nice. So bring that knee down, and then come to take a seat on your mat. Yogis, let's take a straddle position right here, taking your feet to a comfortably wide straddle. So don't overdo that, whatever feels good for you. And just do a little lift here so you feel pretty tall on your sit bones. And if you still feel like you're kind of rounded back like this, that's just because of tight hamstrings, low back, glutes. So you can sit on top of a blanket or a little cushion that will actually help you to keep a tall spine. So do that if you need to. So I want you to press into the mat in front of you and just lift up tall, inhale. And then slowly begin to crawl those hands forward. So maybe you're just going to come forward a tiny bit, staying right here and breathing. Maybe you'll take your forearms down to a block or to the mat. But I want you to stay where it's challenging but still doable. So you can hold this pose and this stretch and still be able to take long breaths. You're not in pain, but you're still feeling a stretch. You still feel like this is working something. So with your eyes closed, tune into where you might be feeling resistance here. Maybe through the inner thighs or the hips. Maybe into the back of the knees. So I want you to direct your breath to wherever you're feeling tightness and resistance. Keeping those teeth slightly apart and the breath nice and long. And if you feel your body open up a little bit, go ahead and crawl forward even a little bit more when that happens. That's how we continue to become more flexible and to progress in our practice. Let's take one more breath here. And slowly crawl those hands back up. Take your hands to the outside of the legs by the knees. Soften those knees a bit, and then just bring them together. And give them a little bounce. So just going into a nice easy spinal twist here. Bending the left knee in, And the knee does not have to be really close to your body. Take that left arm, inhale, reach it up like a rainbow, and then back behind you on the floor. And then inhale, take that right arm, lift it up, and then cross it over the knee. Exhale. So you can have a straight arm, you can have a bent elbow, whatever feels best. And again, we're just turning to the side wall, not the back wall. See if you can flex and reach the right sole of your foot straight ahead towards me, letting the shoulders relax, letting the belly soften. And then maybe turn your head just a little bit further towards the wall behind you, only if that feels good. Take one more breath here. And slowly face back to face forward. And bounce out the legs. And then we'll switch sides. So bending the right knee in. Inhale that right arm way up like a rainbow. And then on the floor behind you, exhale. Inhale the left arm up, getting length through the spine. Crossing that arm over the knee. And again, maybe the straight arm, maybe a bent elbow, whatever's best in your body. Turning just to the side wall. Flex and reach the left sole of the foot towards me. Let the shoulders soften. Let the belly soften. And be aware when you're in this pose that your body is tall here. And then maybe turning the head a little more towards the back of the room if that feels right for you. And then turning back to face forward. Bounce out the legs, roll out the shoulders. And then yogis, I'm going to stay up in an easy pose, but I want you to take your time lowering yourself all the way down to your mat in your corpse pose. So take a moment to do that right now. Lying all the way flat on your mat, facing up. Separate your legs, hip distance apart. Arms by your sides, palms face up. And then tip your chin gently to your chest, so the back of your neck is long. With your eyes closed, let your entire body surrender and soften into the mat. Feeling the support of the earth underneath your body. Observing your effortless breath through your nose. And softening all of the muscles in your face, your jaw, your cheeks, eyelids, and forehead. Enjoy the feeling of quiet and stillness. Send yourself some gratitude for showing up on your mat today and honoring your practice. Notice the ability of your exhale to soften any remaining tension in your body. And take one last long breath. And then bringing movement to your fingers and toes. Deepen and expand your breath. And Gently hug your knees to your chest. And then roll your body to the right, tucking your right arm under your head. And use your left hand on the floor to press you back up to easy pose, your tall seated position. Hands coming back to prayer at heart center. Bow your head to seal in the yoga. The light in me honors and respects the light in you. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember that you do not always have to press and go deeper and sweat and have a strenuous yoga session. It's so good for your body every once in a while to just take it easy and really honor your limitations, your injuries, or just to take it nice and slow for a change, to let your body heal and rest. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.